Someone seriously needs to put me on a book buying ban because this is not healthy. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Emily. So in today's video I am doing another massive book haul. I did one of these a couple of months ago and it was really popular, so I have another one. This one is double the amount of books that were in the first video, so there's over 30 books in this video and this is accumulated over like a month. So this is like really bad. Like someone seriously needs to put me on a ban. Most of these I ordered off Amazon. As you can see, I've kept all the boxes for thumbnail purposes, just like last time. I also brought a bunch of these in real life as well, so I'm just going to go through them. It doesn't really matter where I got them from. I don't even know where to start because there's just 3 massive piles on the floor next to me. And I'm just gonna have to start somewhere. But before I get started, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give the video a like if you do enjoy it. Also, if you're interested in seeing my other book haul, go and watch that. I think I posted it in like April, around that time. But with that all being said, let's just get started because this is gonna take a very long time. The first book in this video is The Sweetest Oblivion by Danielle Laurie. So it's the Maid series and this is the first book in the series. This series was very hyped up I think like a year ago or a couple of years ago. I think it's a mafia romance and I've literally never read a mafia romance, so I'm very excited about this one. I absolutely love the cover of this book, and if a cover is cute in a book, it just makes you want to read it even more. Then we have By a Thread by Lucy Score. I have seen so many amazing things about this book. So I've loved Things We Never Got Over and Things We Hide from the Light, which are also by Lucy Score. The way she writes her books is just so amazing and detailed, and I just love all the characters in her books. I think this one, she's either working in like a clothing store or she's like a fashion designer herself. I'm not really sure. I just know it's got something to do with clothing and all of that. Obviously there's a romance that's sparked up in the book, and this is a really long one as well. I feel like all of Lucy Score's books are really thick, but her writing's amazing, so I'm very excited to read this. I've been waiting to get the physical copy instead of reading it on my Kindle, so I'm very happy that I finally got this as well. Then I have The Perfect Couple by Alan Hildebrand. I have never read a book from Alan Hildebrand before, but I've been seeing so many people talk about her books and how amazing they are. I just think they're not really published in Australia because this took like a month to come. I don't really know what this is about, to be honest. I just know that her books are really amazing summery reads. So I don't know if I'm going to read this anytime soon because we're in winter and I don't want to ruin a summery book in winter. But maybe in a couple of months around springtime will be a better time to read it. And let's be honest, I'm not going to read all of these books in the next month. So then we have The Final Offer by Lauren Asher. So this is the 3rd book in the Dreamland Billionaires series. I've only read the fine print and terms and conditions is on my July TBR if you want to go and watch that video. But I also brought the 3rd book because I saw it at Kmart and I just wanted to spend money that day, and I was like, I need to have all 3 of them on my shelf. I know I'm gonna like the next 2 books because I loved the fine print, so I just decided to get the 3rd book as well. I feel like this is the prettiest book out of all of them, like the color. It's like a teal color. Next we have The Gracier by Kim Liggett, and I've heard amazing things about this as well. Let's be honest, I've probably heard amazing things about all of these books, that's why I brought them. But I think this is more of like a thriller type of thing. I actually don't really know what genre it comes under. But in this world, they send these teenage girls, I think they're 16-year-olds, and they send them into the forest and they have to survive in the wilderness. And then if they survive that year, which is the grace year, they're like worthy of men and stuff like that. It's kind of a weird concept, but I am very excited to read this because I've heard really good things about it. Next we have Mr. Wrong Number by Lynn Painter. I read The Love Wager the other month, and then when I put it on my Goodreads I realized that there's a book that comes before it, which is this one, and I think it's just like standalone books, so you don't actually have to read them in order or anything like that. I really loved The Love Wager, so I was like, I'm gonna buy the 1st book as well because I'm sure I'll love that as well. I love getting rom-coms as like little palette cleansers rather than like really thoroughly enjoying them. They're just really good to read in between really thick books or books that are more like heartfelt and deep, so I'm very excited for this as well. And I think Lynn Painter is an amazing writer as well. So next we have 2 books that are also like together but standalone. So it is The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez and The Happy Ever After playlist. I meant interconnected standalones. This is going to be really annoying because I have so many interconnected standalones in this video and I never say that that's what they are because I literally woke up like half an hour before filming this video. That's why I look so tired and don't really know what I'm saying, and I just sound really low in energy the whole video.
So yeah, I'm sorry about that.
So I've heard amazing things about the Happy Ever After playlist, and then I obviously saw this one. I'd never seen this book before, to be honest, but I just brought them both because I hate reading books as standalones when they're meant to be like part of a series kind of, so I just brought both of them. And by the looks of it, both of these books include dogs, which I love when books have animals in them, as long as it's not like a thriller where the dog died. I love books with animals because it makes it more like real life. Like, I really like that aspect. But yeah, I just brought these two as well, and I'm very excited because I don't think I've ever read an Abby Jimenez book, but I've heard her writing's really good too, so that's those two. Oh my god, I just realized with that book it actually comes with a third standalone book in the series, which I also brought, which is Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez as well. So there's 3 of them, not 2. Next, I have Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. So I read The Love Hypothesis last year and I actually didn't really enjoy it too much, but I feel like I might have been in like some sort of a little slump at that stage, because now that I look back, it wasn't even a bad book. I just wasn't in the right mood for it. So I decided I'm going to give Ali Hazelwood another try because everyone loves her books and I want to love her books as well. It's kind of like Emily Henry. Like, I only got into her books recently, but I really love them. I feel like the same thing is going to happen with Ali Hazelwood's books. I just love the cover of this book. I think I brought this one from Kmart as well. So I just saw it in store and I was like, yes, that looks really cute. And I don't really know what this is about either, but I am very excited to read this as well. Then we have another 2 books together. So we have Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams and When in Rome by Sarah Adams. So I originally saw When in Rome. I actually thought this was the first book, but it's actually the other way around.
I was literally correct. When in Rome is the first book. I don't know what I was even looking up on Goodreads as I was filming this video, because I literally messed up so many times.
I saw people talking about this book and I just love the cover. Like, there's something about this cover that I just love. Like, I don't know if it's the contrast of colors or something, but it just attracted me straight away. And obviously I've seen really good reviews on it as well. And I feel like whenever I buy a book, I normally look it up on Goodreads, hence why I realize when there's other books ahead of it. But yeah, I'm very excited for these. I'm also obsessed with this cover. Like, the way he's got the tattoos on his arm and like the flowers around it, it's just so cute. And to be honest, I don't know what these are about either. I just know they're little romances, which again, I love. So I'm very excited for these as well. And I don't know if I've ever read any of Sarah Adams' books either, so another author that I can jump into. I'm so confused because the next book is Part of Your World, and I swear to God I brought the book before this as well.
I am so sorry for all the editing cuts in this video, but I'm talking about Yours Truly, which comes after Part of Your World, not before. And I never brought it. I literally never brought it. So I don't know what I was talking about. I was obviously imagining it in one of the packages because it was never there and I never ordered it.
So anyway, so this is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez as well. And Yours Truly actually comes after it. I thought it came before, but it comes after. And this is just another little romance. I have heard really good things about this book too, and I feel like a lot of people have been reading this recently as well. So I'm gonna have to buy the second book, but luckily I have the first book and not just the second book. Sorry for all that confusion. I'm really confused as well, but I must have told myself that I'm not going to buy it until I read this one, which is fair enough. So then I have Secretly Yours by Tessa Bailey. I think this is just a little standalone romance as well. So I love the cover of this book. I just love the cartoons and the colors and everything like that. But I hate when books have blurbs or like the back of the book when it's this long. Like, I'm not going to stand there and read the whole back of this book. Like, it's just too long. I feel like it could be so much shorter and it just doesn't need that much detail. This book I randomly brought in a bookstore as well. I don't know anything about it. I literally brought it purely because of the cover. I think the cover is gorgeous. So it's called Orphea by Joanne M. Harris, and it's like a holographic gold cover with a butterfly on it. Like, that is so pretty, and I think I got it for like $7 or something like that, so it was really cheap. And I'm pretty sure it's some sort of fantasy book. I might just look it up actually, because I have never heard of this before and I feel like no one here would have heard of this either. She begins a beautiful and tragic quest as a heartbroken mother sets out to save her lost daughter through the realms of the real, of dream, and even into the underworld itself. But determination alone is not enough. For to save something precious, she must give up something precious, be it a song, a memory, or her freedom herself. So it's just about a mum trying to save her daughter, but I'm assuming it's like a fantasy sort of world, which is a really interesting concept. But as I said, I literally just brought it because of the cover, and even the spine is really pretty. So yeah, that's why I brought that one. Then I brought The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I saw Larry Reed's read this recently and she loved it. So when I saw it in an Australian bookstore, I was like, oh my god, I didn't realize we had some good books here. Let me buy this. So I decided to buy it, obviously. So I don't really know what this is about. I love going into books sort of blind, but at the back it says that Eden wants to turn back time. She buries the truth along with the girl she used to be. She pretends she doesn't need friends, doesn't need love, doesn't need justice. But as her world unravels, one thing becomes clear. The only person who can save Eden is Eden, so herself. So I feel like it's going to be really interesting. I love books where they have like a really bad past. Love books like that because of the character development, and I just love seeing how they change and improve themselves and all that. So I'm very excited for this as well. Then I brought Anna Huang's whole series, the If Love series. So this came to Australian stores and it was never really in Australia, so I just brought the whole 4 books. So we have If We Ever Meet Again, If the Sun Never Sets, If Love Had a Price, and If We Were Perfect. So there's 4 books in this series and I think I got them for like $12 each, so it was really cheap. So I'm so excited to finally be able to put these with my other and oh my god. Anyway, I'm so excited to put these with my other Anna Huang books now because I've been keeping all of these book haul books together so I don't get confused. Then I have The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I read The Inheritance Games 2 years ago and I loved that book, but I don't remember really anything that happened in it. Oh my god, Nellie ripped up Stella's catnip toy and she's eating it. But if you could see like how she's laying right now. So as I said, I read The Inheritance Games 2 years ago and I don't really remember anything that happened, but I really want to reread it and then read the next 2 books in this series, so The Hawthorne Legacy and The Final Gambit. I brought this simply as like a little push for myself to reread it. Then the next books are really random, but I was at Costco and then I was just looking at the books there because I have like book sets, and I got this whole set for $20. So I brought the Divergent series. I honestly don't think I've ever read the Divergent series, and I don't really like the movies too much because I just don't like the main character. It's like I'm more of a Twilight and Hunger Games girl when I rewatch those types of movies, but I do really want to read the books because obviously they're very, very popular books, and these covers are really pretty as well. Like I feel like whenever I've seen the covers of these books, they've been kind of ugly, but I really like these. We have Divergent, obviously, Insurgent, Allegiant, and 4. So that's the 4 books in the series, and I'm very excited. I probably won't read these anytime soon because it'll take a lot of motivation to read them, but if you're watching this, convince me to read this series because I've never read it and I feel like I definitely need to. Then I brought All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata because I listened to this as an audiobook and I absolutely loved it. So I saw it in real life and I was like, I need the physical copy of that book. I also really want the physical copy of The Wall in Winnipeg and Me because I preferred that one, but I haven't seen that one in real life yet and it's like $40 on Amazon, so I'm not going to be doing that. So I simply brought this just so I could have the physical copy on my shelf, and I love Mariana Zapata's writing as well, so I need to read more books from her because I know Larry Reeds is obsessed with her as well and I love her recommendations, so definitely need to read more of her books. I have 2 series to go and then a couple of books on their own. So I brought the rest of the Chestnut Spring series. I only just started reading the first book, to be honest, after I ordered all of these, but the reason I brought them all is because I don't think they're doing these covers anymore, and I am obsessed with the covers of these books. Like, they're so gorgeous and I just couldn't not get them because I hate when they change the covers of books. And just wait till the next series because I also brought all of them because they changed the covers and I hate the new covers, and I just don't understand when they do that. Like, I know it's a publisher thing, but it's just really annoying because the covers are never as good as the originals. So we have Powerless by Elsie Silver. As I said, I'm reading Flawless right now and I'm loving it. Like, seriously, it's one of the best romances I've read in a while. Heartless and Reckless, this is the most recent one. So I'm very excited to finish the one I'm reading and then go into more of these because they're such good books. Like, I don't know, there's just something about it, like the whole small town cowboy aesthetic. I just love it. And I've never really read a book like that either, so it's like completely new to me, but I am really enjoying it. Then the next series I brought, and these are more justified because I actually did read the first book before buying the rest, the Magnolia Parks universe. So I brought the next 3 books in the series because they are changing these covers, and I don't understand why, because these covers are the best covers I've ever seen in books. Like seriously, these covers are just stunning. So I read Magnolia Parks, obviously, and then the second book is Daisy Hates. This is on my July TBR. Like, can we just take a moment for the detail and everything that's on these covers? Like, it's literally stunning. Then we have Magnolia Parks, The Long Way Home. This is probably one of my favorites. Actually, no, the next one's my favorite. But like the boat, I think there's like a mermaid. Yeah, there's like mermaids sitting on the front of the boat. I just love looking at these covers and just looking at all the detail because they're so cool. So that's the next one. And then the 4th book in the series is Daisy Hates, The Great Undoing. I'm obsessed with this cover. Like, it's a statue and then the statue has tattoos on it. It's just got so much symbolism on it as well. Like, I feel like all of these tattoos are going to mean something in the series. Then finally I have 2 books to go because this has taken me so long to film. So I have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I hate when books have my name in it. Like, it's literally in the title. But I have just heard really good things about this book. I think Rachel Catherine read this and really liked it, and it's more of like a cozy fantasy, and because we're in winter I feel like it's the perfect time to read something like that. So Emily Wilde is a researcher who is writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairies. Then the last book I brought, this was kind of a bit impulsive because I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it, but I've heard amazing things about it. It's a new book. So that is Yellowface by Rebecca F. Kwong. I think this book is mainly about racism, but it's about a girl who is an author who dies, and then her best friend comes in and takes her latest manuscript and publishes it under her own name. And I just feel like that's a really cool concept, and I'm really excited to read this. But yeah, I just don't know how much I'm going to enjoy it because I feel like it's going to be more of like a literary fiction. Do you want to rip up this? Oh, what's this? She'll like ripping that up, and then she won't rip up my carpet. Take it. If you want to send me any books, my Amazon wishlist will be in the description. I did buy all of these myself. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching this video if you made it to the end. I hope you got some good book recommendations for yourself in there, because if a book interests you, you can go and look up what it's about. Otherwise this video would have been way too long. I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!